Well, I mean, when we talk about the application of technology, we believe that we're sort of the guardian of our clients' investments. So they invest through us about $90 billion around the world. And the question for us is it the right figure? If we thought about it being one client, should it be more, should it be less? And where should it be distributed? Where should it be in terms of traditional media versus digital? Where should it be in terms of free-to-air television versus cable? Where should it be in terms of Google or Twitter or Facebook or Pinterest or Instagram, whatever it happens to be, or LinkedIn? So when we talk about the application of technology, we're saying, how can we apply technology to help us find the holy grail, which is how much should our clients spend and where they should spend it? So building those platforms, which is not a traditional part of our business, because people think about our business and they think about creativity in a very narrow sense. They think about big idea, not about creativity in a technological sense. And we're thinking about it increasingly as bringing the art together with the science, the madmen together with the maths men, and creating the two. Are we talking about India, or are we talking about the world?
India.
No, I'm very bullish on India. I'm bullish generally on India, despite I think there is a little bit of concern. I mean, there's concern about the political situation pre the election and even post the election, whatever the result will be. There's concern about the weakness in the rupee. There's concern about inflation. I think one of the issues that's sort of interesting is, I think, younger people having been brought up or maturing in a time when the rupee has been strong, when economic growth has been strong since those fundamental economic decisions were made in the early 90s. I think really in reaction to the growth of the Chinese tiger, right? The next door neighbor started to get envious and it was sort of envy at work that drove it. But whatever drove it, it was moving in the right direction. But everything is cyclical. And the secular trend in India is strong, and whether you apply it to media or industry or commerce. And what we're seeing is a cyclical reaction post-Lehman to the challenges that we face. And it can't go up in a straight line all the time. There has to be a cyclical change. And I don't think people should get over-concerned about it or over-depressed about it, whether they're young, middle-aged, or old. Sorry, the partnership with which? The Twitter. Yeah, that's right.
So how are you leveraging the
and Kantar to be, yeah.
So how are you leveraging the platform of Twitter?
Well, what we're doing is we're taking the Twitter data, and it's a really interesting question. We're taking the Twitter data, and we started off looking at the data in relation to free-to-air television, or actually television generally. So as people were watching television programs, what were they tweeting? And we looked at that, and what it shows is that the consumers are much more engaged with television than we credited before. So the value of television is enhanced as a result. And that interestingly applies to newspapers and magazines as well, because there is some data which shows that when people engage with newspapers and magazines, they tweet about it. They tweet about their experiences or their knowledge or their information or their reactions, or encourage people to read them as well. And so what we're seeing is the old media that we thought were more threatened, actually, that one of the lifelines they may have is that engagement, consumer engagement, is very important. There's another very interesting thing that happened last week. One of the government departments, I think it was or one of the departments of the university in the UK, said that they can measure the mood in the country by analyzing Twitter feeds, right? So, you know, in this day when people are saying, you know, GNP is not the only measure of a country's success, but it's happiness, we can tell how happy. It'd be interesting to do it in India at the moment. I would guess the tweets probably would not be quite what the government wanted to see, but it would be very interesting. I guess they do it through keyword analysis of tweets, but you can sort of track brand strength or brand weakness to mood, happiness or unhappiness. Interesting.
Sorry, because 5 minutes are up.
Okay.
So I'm going to ask you one question.
Are you competitive, you two?
No.
Oh,
We're just keeping our word.
Oh, fine. Okay, fine. Go ahead.